Our next presentation is from a home cook and sous vide enthusiast who loves helping people get in the kitchen with tips and tricks along the way so they can confidently say, I can cook that. She's going to be showing us how to prepare yet another French classic with sous vide chicken cordon bleu. Please welcome Chef Stef from I Can Cook That.
I'm Chef Stef from ICanCookThat.com, and today we're going to do a whimsical spin on an old classic, chicken cordon bleu. But when you think about chicken cordon bleu, you usually think about deep fried breadcrumbs. We're not doing it like that. We're gonna do it in a sous vide, and we're gonna modernize it a little bit. So let me take you through the key ingredients. I'm gonna bring you through the hardware and the software being the ingredients. And so let's get started. So this is 11 ingredients. The star of the show is obviously the chicken here. I'm using 2 chicken breasts. We have salt, pepper, herbe de Provence, Dijon mustard, and then I have a honey grain mustard. And I really think it's important to do both of these mustards, and I just feel like it gives an extra layer of flavor. Then we have our old favorite honey. We have some mascarpone cheese. And then we have some bacon bits, which is completely optional. 6 pieces of ham, 6 pieces of Swiss cheese. I like the thin one, mostly because 1, it cuts your calories, and 2, it's a little bit easier to work with for your wait time. And of course, because it's sous vide, we got to talk about the hardware, and that of course is a sous vide bag, or you could do a Ziploc if you're familiar with the submersion method. I love the new vacuum sealer. This one is from Innova. It's a chamber vacuum sealer. This is really great with liquids. We're not using liquids today, but this is one of my new favorite toys, so that's going to be the go-to. And of course, you can't sous vide without a sous vide machine, circulator, and tub. And so that's what we have right here, the Innova sous vide tub. You can use anything though. You can use a pot, you can use Tupperware, you can use whatever you like. I love this because it's big. I like the built-in rack. I am going to be securing it with my magnets. I know some people use clips. I love the magnets. And of course, the circulator. This is the Innova Pro Series. I've tried them all, and this is my favorite one from the Innova line. Little expensive, but definitely worth it. All right, so of course we're gonna start with seasoning the chicken. This is super simple, which, you know, that's how I love to do things, super simple. It's literally herbe de Provence, salt, and pepper, so let's go. So when I promised you this was easy, I wasn't kidding. This is literally herbe de Provence, pepper, and salt on each side. So now we've got the chicken breasts into the chamber sealer, and we're just gonna get this puppy going. All right, so we have the chicken vacuum sealed. It looks beautiful. I like a little space between. You could put bacon bits down in here if you want to add a little extra fat. It's up to you. I like doing the bacon bits at the end. Bacon bits are obviously completely optional, but that's gonna go into our sous vide for 90 minutes, 140 degrees. That is a safe temperature because we will be finishing it properly in the broiler, but you can do 150 if you prefer. For me, I've tested this a lot. 140 degrees seems to be the sweet spot, and 90 minutes also. Now remember, this is not a chicken wing, this is not a drumstick, this is nothing that has a high fat content. So really going for 3 hours isn't gonna help you here. It's not gonna make it more tender, in my opinion. What I'm really looking for is to cook this slowly and properly and precisely. All right, now the fun part. We're making our chicken cordon bleu glue, and that's the stuff that's going to keep your ham and your cheese sticking together and also add another really nice layer of flavor. This is also something you'll see on my website called the Minot Roux, and that's because I use it as a base for sauces and a whole bunch of other things. Because there's mustard in it, it's an emulsifier, so you don't need flour with this if you use it in a sauce, but that's another video. So I'm gonna show you how we make it. The best pro tip here is going to be room temperature mascarpone cheese. This is about a cup. You really want to do yourself a favor here and use room temperature, because if you try and do it cold, it's so hard to work with. And you can see, it's like if you've ever tried to just spread cream cheese straight from the fridge.
So once you've started mixing your room temp mascarpone, you can start mixing your other ingredients here. I just added the herbe de Provence and the pepper. Now we're doing the two types of mustard, the brown grain and the Dijon, and adding just a little bit of honey here. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. We're going to mix it all together. You'll see how easy it is to spread on the chicken.
So I have one more pro tip for you. I like to do bacon bits at the end when I finish it under the broiler. What I do is I put them in a little ramekin, and then because I know this is going for 90 minutes, I just set it straight on top, and it actually helps warm it through. So I find that to be a lot easier than just dumping whole bacon bits on. Okay, we are at 140 degrees, blum, blum, blum. 150 if that makes you feel better, but for me, 140, we are at 90 minutes, an hour and a half. I've got the magnets up here at the top, and then voila. And then we put our handy dandy lid on. You really don't have to use this lid for such a short cook, but I have it, so I am. Bacon bits right on top. In 90 minutes, we are gonna have the new and improved Chicken Cordon Bleu sous vide. 90 minutes. Here we are. Now we're just going to dry it, because you know that is a very important step before we finish it in the broiler. All right, we have dried. So this was in 140 degrees, 90 minutes. I have finished drying this, which is a critical step, as we all know, in the process before we finish it, unless of course you want to smoke it. So now comes the fun part. We are gonna finish it. So I've got the Chicken Cordon Bleu in here. And then, like I said before, I make it in batches. So I just put it right back in the container, put the lid on. I'm gonna stick this back in the fridge. I'll keep it until the expiration date. And I'll use it for all sorts of other fun stuff. So this is the process.
So this is really a layered process. I start with some glue on the bottom just to keep the chicken in place, and then everything gets a layer of this Chicken Cordon Bleu glue. We have basically 3 pieces of ham and 3 pieces of cheese cut in half, divided on each chicken breast, and then we do ham, glue, cheese, glue, ham, glue, cheese, glue on top, and a little bit of bacon bits.
Here we go. Cheese is brown. I can smell it. It's time. Oh yeah. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It's brown, it's beautiful. I can smell the bacon, the ham, the cheese. Oh, it smells so good. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit for just a few minutes, because it just came out of the broiler, so it's kind of ooey and gooey, which I love, but I don't wanna cut into it and have everything go everywhere. So I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes, tighten up just a hair, and then we'll cut it straight on the cutting board, and you'll see it's perfectly cooked. It's the reinvented Chicken Cordon Bleu, a little healthier, sous vide style. Well, we are at the finish line. So now we're just plating. This is tightened up beautifully. You can see it's all together. You can put this on a big old fancy plate if you want, but I'm doing it straight on this cutting board, because that's how I like to do it. And you're gonna see as I slice into this, and I'm slicing at an angle so I don't take off everything. If you go right in, you might kind of have things falling all over the place. But I'm just gonna slice this on a little bit of an angle. The blade is at an angle. Chicken is at an angle. You can see there's not juices falling out everywhere, but it's still extremely juicy. So I'm just gonna show you right there. Perfectly cooked, not underdone for anyone that is worried about the 140 degrees. The broiler takes care of all of that for you. Beautiful new twist on chicken cordon bleu. Very moist. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Full recipe, iCanCookThat.com. Thanks everyone, and cheers.